What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. And today we're talking about Avatar, The Way of the Water.
The Way of Water.
The Way of Water.
The Way of
Way of Water.
Yeah, The Way of Water.
Way of Water.
Man, why'd you make that so confusing?
I don't know. I wasn't sure. It's something about the Avatar. Something about the water.
Wow.
We are going to read this synopsis and then we'll give you our spoiler-free take on it, and then we'll jump in for a deep dive. And that dive is deep because the waters.
But we're going to be brief.
Which part?
About half as long as the movie, so only 6 hours of review.
That's true. That's true. Jake Sully lives with his newfound family formed on extrasolar moon Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, Jake must work with Neytiri and the army of the Na'vi race to protect their home. Avatar, The Way of Water. 3-hour spectacle. Directed by James Gunn.
Cameron. Come on, man. James Cameron, greatest film director of all time.
You're talking
Get
right.
it straight. Put some respect on that name.
Slap my mouth. What do you guys think, man?
I think this was one of the most visually stunning movies I've seen. I saw it in 3D. Jake Sully's a scumbag. He was a scumbag in movie 1. He's even more of a scumbag in movie 2.
Oh, wow. And talk about that.
Yeah, that's how you really feel.
Yeah, I'll follow that. Not co-signing with Chris. He's been off this show, gentlemen. The movie is visually stunning. I mean, probably the single greatest CGI in any film ever is this movie and its visuals. And I would have said that about the first Avatar movie as well. James Cameron, what he's doing with technology in these films is breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
And whole lot of blue butt cheeks in this film. So
yeah.
Yo, and them loincloths must be held together with like
I didn't understand it.
Double-sided tape, because I'm like, they never fall to the side. I feel like in real this shit, I wish they were still Mad TV, because they would have had the balls literally to be Avatar, and like their junk just flying.
A little confused by that. Yeah, not being honest. I enjoy the film. I think if you got an extra 6 hours to spend and $30 for a movie ticket, it's worth the watch for sure. And I'll say this: some movies you don't need to see in the theaters, and some movies you must experience.
There is no point to watch this at home. Like, don't even watch this at home.
Exactly. This is not the movie to wait for streaming. This is not the movie to watch in the intimacy of your home. This is a movie where you want to see it in the theater, and you want to see it on the biggest, brightest, clearest, crispiest screen possible to you.
It's the best 3D I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's stunning.
I co-sign. It's stunning, man. I need to go back and see it again on IMAX. I had a very short window to see this film, so I had to see it where I could. And it's not just like visual, like it's part of the storytelling. Like, I feel like I'm in the water with them. I see the emotions on their face. It's not just a spectacle. It's enchanting the way the visual is telling the story, man. I adored this film. I'm like, this is filmmaking. This is somebody who, this world didn't exist. It's like in his daydream. It's in his brain. It only exists in his brain. And he was, over the next 15 years, he was able to take it out of his brain and show us his waking dream. That is bananas to me. Like, this comes out of, like, where did you get this from? Where'd you get this from?
I have a list of my recommendations exactly where he got this from.
Fern Gully, and it's 2 hours shorter.
Said Vernon Gully.
Yes, put some respect on James Gunn's name.
Cameron. Cameron.
I know, Jack.
What's wrong with you?
Wow.
I loved
James
it.
Cameron, greatest film director of all time, man.
I loved it. And the only reason I won't buy this and add it to my collection is because it's a disservice to watch this on any television at home.
Sure.
I'm gonna buy it. Anyway.
This is like, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, I bought the first one, and then I bought the special edition
Did
of
you
the
watch?
first one.
Did you watch them?
I mean, yeah.
Did
The
it?
first one. I
did
didn't
it
watch
feel-
the special edition one.
Did you still get the feel? Did you have the experience watching it at home? Like, how was that watching it at home?
I mean, you're never going to get the experience of a movie theater at home, not unless you got like a movie theater at home.
I think
But it
that's
was
what
still,
we
it was
need
still
to
a good
do.
time. Well, listen, brother, you want to send some funds my way? I
Three
will.
brothers and a shot of milk.
I will gladly
theater.
build a movie theater.
3 brothers and a shot of milk. The theater. You guys come to see whatever we feel like talking about.
Yeah. That's a successful business model right there.
We're just gonna show freaking. What was that?
What's on
Pictures
today?
on the
Whatever
planet
I
over and over
say,
and over again.
right?
On
The
today.
Venom.
Just buy a ticket,
Venom.
come
Like
and sit
Chef's
down
Choice.
and watch it. But yeah, it was a good watch. It was a great watch. Considering that it was like 99.9% CG, the CG held up all the way through from beginning to end, as it should. If it didn't in any way, I would have been like, "This is crap." I would have walked out in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But it held through all the way. Yeah, good storytelling is long. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep.
Me too.
And yeah, man, it was a good watch, and you really should watch it in theaters now. I'm pretty sure they'll probably release it like a couple of months later, do a re-release in theaters.
Oh, that's what he did with the first one like last year.
Yeah,
To
so
beat Marvel, to make sure they didn't beat his movie.
yeah, but try to watch it now, just in case they don't do that re-release, and get that enjoyment, get some popcorn, get some drinks, get some snacks, just sit down, relax, maybe get a catheter.
I'm about to say, don't drink too much soda. It's a long movie, man.
You will be going to the bathroom. There's a lot of people running to the bathroom to get back just so they don't miss anything. But yeah, good watch, great sequel, honestly. Well, visually, let's put it like that. Let's say visually.
Yeah.
And we'll say it like that. Yeah.
Well,
So let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. We pick up pretty much where we kind of see the life he's been living here, man. And he has a family. He has a beautiful family. He has 2 sons and a daughter. And Sigourney Weaver's Sigourney Weaver's character at the end of the first one, her body died and she became an avatar, right?
Kind of, right?
Kind of, sort of. But now she's kind of in stasis. She gets pregnant and we don't know how she got pregnant.
So someone,
problematic.
Well, but it's also
It's
half
very problematic.
It's also half human, half avatar.
So no. I think no.
Wait,
I think
is she
if they
half
have
human?
if the avatar has a child, they have the 4th finger because the avatar was mixed with human DNA.
Right.
Yeah. So it was
I see. Okay.
So because some of Sully's kids, I think the middle child, the middle son, he had all the fingers like human.
Right. Good for
Whereas his
punching.
firstborn had fingers like a Navi. So I think it was just something like genetics was whatever overpowered at that time.
So we don't know who Homegirl's father is.
Yeah. But we think we know.
I honestly don't know.
They
The
thought
scientist partner was the only answer for that. Unless it's Immaculate Conception, because if you watch this movie, and this is spoiler alert, we're jumping right into it.
We're jumping in.
Her child is honestly connected to the planet in a way no one else on the planet is connected to the planet. So if there's an Immaculate Conception, the father itself is the planet.
What's the name of the planet? What do they call this? The planet? These are A or something like that.
Isn't it Pan?
No, Pandora's a planet, but the spirit of the planet has a name.
Awu,
something like that. Because you see when she's laying down in the grass, you see like the
planet is
It's like
Yeah, I mean,
forcing
she's
with her.
literally there's that scene in the water where she just drops her antenna, her whatever, her back of her head thing into some plant-like algae, and she's got control of the ocean. So she's connected to the planet in a way no one else can do that.
So
She can tap into anything.
if it's not immaculate conception, then I'm thinking whoever impregnated it is a fellow, you know, what are the people of the Pandora or whatever. I don't see a human being, her being half human. I feel like
That's
she's
what I'm saying.
half, yeah,
Yeah.
She's half planet, probably.
or
She's like
someone or her father was super, whatever their version of clairvoyant is, super sensitive, and she got that trait as
But
well.
we
I
haven't
like the
experienced.
idea Jack has. I'm hoping it's like the planet. I hope it's like Star Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy, where the planet is like
Right.
the
Well,
father.
you gotta look at also consider this. Unlike the first Avatar movie, which came out 10 years ago, the next 3 films he's already shot 2.5 of them. So he
Right.
knows where this story is going. So if you're jump cutting along what's plausible in the way something's gonna play out 9 hours from now. Also, this might have been in the news section. They have a first cut of Avatar 3.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
It's
mean,
9
Yeah.
hours. It's
7.
9 hours long. The first cut is 9 hours long. That just came out like yesterday, the day after. So the first cut of Avatar 3 is already
It's
being
coming
looked
out
at.
next year, I believe. I think.
Well, that's why they probably have a first cut, because it's going to take a year of everything just to get the CGI into the film and cut 6 hours off of it.
and then continue to upgrade this code. Right? They're not just going
Yeah.
to stick with what they put out. They're like, how can we push it even further? I mean, that's
Mhm.
how it works. So we're here. We see Jake and his family, and basically, I need to get their names right, but that freaking Colonel, what's his face?
Oh, he's good.
Buzzcut. He's
He's
so
so good.
freaking good.
Yeah,
He's
he's
I
Like,
mean,
why he didn't play Cable in the movies, I still don't understand.
Josh Brolin was dope.
I know, but can you imagine him playing Cable?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he would have been good.
So this dude, Colonel Quaritch,
Killing it,
Quaritch,
man. Killing it,
Quaritch,
buddy.
Quaritch. We saw him die in the first one, and apparently they downloaded his brain into pretty much a hard drive, and they can upload that brain into an avatar.
Which also didn't make sense.
Did it not make sense?
Didn't make sense that this guy who hated these creatures would have put himself in a program
Well-
where after his death he would have become one of them.
Well,
That
he
was-
said he said it when they were showing the scene. What it seemed like, it was a contingency plan that all the soldiers had to do, right?
Yeah.
I
And he
saw
said
it.
it.
And
He's
if
like,
he has
yeah,
orders,
if I
he's
die, but
taking
that's
his
never going
orders.
to happen. Like, he wasn't planning on this happening.
Can I give a gripe? Listen, I like the film, but there were a handful of things that I was just like, what? And so the kid, what's his name? Spider?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Jar Jar Binks of the film.
Cultural appropriation. Oh, that was his name was Spider? I thought it was.
His name
I
was
was so confused because they said the only reason the kid exists in the first place was because
He was too. Babies can't do the stasis. They can't.
right.
They can't,
And
yeah.
so the thing that doesn't make sense about that is you're telling me that this place where you sent everyone packing home, he was the only child and a child of the most unlikely person to have a child there on the planet in the first place. I don't buy that
Yeah.
at
Not
all.
in general.
No,
He's
no, no.
he's
I'll
clapping
get.
right.
I'll give you this, because you're telling me that everyone that's intermingling in this on this base, the most disciplined person has
Right.
an illegitimate child.
Right. And it's the
Yes.
only child, and so that child is forced to stay. I don't buy
And the
that.
mom,
You,
and the mom
you would
just
have
leaves the
you would have
child.
had several children that stayed if that was the case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't need that excuse. If they had said we missed a kid and it happened to be this kid, or somehow this kid we didn't get on the thing, so we couldn't send him back because we missed the opportunity, then I go, okay, cool, they missed a kid. But they didn't send the kid because they couldn't send the kid. Then I'm going, there should have been like 20 or 40 kids with them at this point.
Yeah. The whole spider character,
It was
didn't
not
sit right with
it was
me.
unnecessary. Did not actually push the
Well,
plot.
I
forward.
had
Yes.
big problems with how they treated Spider.
Oh yeah.
How they
Oh,
treat
yeah.
him.
So, go for it.
Come on,
first of
racist.
all, okay. So I'm gonna progress the story a little bit. So we see them living. Jake Sully, we see his family. His family is, he's thriving. And all of a sudden, we see the Sky People. Why does he talk like English is not his first language now? Oh, it's the
Spider?
Sky People. Like,
Jake?
yeah, Jake. He's talking about it's your people. Like, it's the humans that are here. But he talks like
But it's
like
been
like a
10 years.
stereotypical indigenous person from the movie. Like, oh, the
It's
Sky.
it's
The
been
been
Sky
like
it's,
Space
10
is
years.
coming.
it's been a long time, and he's talking to them. He's talking to
Yeah.
how they relate to them.
I
Right.
guess. All right. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll give that one a pass. Okay, so the people come.
If I
We
go to
see
Africa, Chris, I'm gonna call all these people colonizers.
if I watch Black Panther, I call these people colonizers.
Right. I'm not gonna go, oh, the American. No, I'm gonna say colonize. I'm with you. I'm gonna start talking. Yeah.
All right. So they land. We see them. They burn up the planet, like the area where they land. Jake's
Yeah.
wife
That
is
was
crazy,
devastating. Yeah.
devastating.
Oh my
right?
goodness. But it was so devastating that it didn't make sense that they didn't do a better job because almost everyone we saw didn't get hit. You know what I mean? Like the level of devastation they rained down, which was impossible to get away from,
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it really hit almost anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
Yeah.
didn't show it, and we didn't see because
Also,
we saw a bit of the tribe, and it
hang on.
seemed like it was a little bit less when they went to the
Okay,
Hallelujah Mountains or whatever.
less.
Mhm.
I got a humongous question though. Two
Go ahead.
questions. In Avatar 1, the Sky People were on the planet because they were going after a resource called, and I'm not making this
Unobtainium.
up, unobtainium. Yes. Which I think is the best thing possible. They call this stupid ass resource unobtainium because, hey man, why not? Fine. Fine. Those are the rules. In Avatar 2, they're not really after unobtainium. They're after a goo that is
Well-
found in the brain stem of a whale type creature.
Two things though, Jack.
Well, those are different people.
Yeah.
Edie Falco says that we need to colonize this because Earth is shot, pretty much.
Right?
And then
Okay.
two,
But
we have the
yes.
Australian guy that's like,
They're hunting. They're on a
Ranger.
completely
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
thing.
totally different things.
Hang on though. But they've only been on the planet for about a year at this point.
Mhm.
So at what point did the Sky People who came back to this planet to probably mine for unobtainium discover this really specific thing in the brain cavity of a whale-type creature that's nearly impossible to capture and create the technology to do so?
Reasons?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, that's
it,
fair.
Rich.
Yeah, you're right. That's a
I
stupid
feel like they
question.
were there for longer than a year, right? Because they
No,
talked
Yeah,
It
about
says it's
It's
about a year.
We wouldn't know it was a year unless they said it. It came out they actually said it on
I
screen.
mean, that's just something
Exactly.
cut.
Thank you.
Don't give time. That's the rule. Don't give us time because then you can write yourself into a corner.
No, they were there for a year after they burnt up
Yes.
their base.
Right.
That's
Right.
when they first came down, but
Right.
there was still that original base. We still don't know because so this is what happened, right? And this is just me seeing how things happen in, like, say, Africa. Okay, you got different companies when they find this planet. You got different companies landing for different reasons. So more
Mhm.
than likely, when they first land, they traveled the seas a little bit, maybe found this other material in the whales and whatnot, and no, a whole nother company came down just to get that. Then you have the main company that came down to get unobtainium. There could be another one out there trying to get some type of petroleum out of the earth. Like,
Right.
there's
And that'll
different
be
companies.
the third film when they go to the mountain people instead of the water people.
Nah, you know.
The
Isn't
way
that
of the
cool?
mountain.
I'm with that. The way of them.
So, okay, let me try to get back to my point. Okay, so they landed. It's a year later.
Mhm.
Okay, we see Jake Sully and his family running guerrilla warfare. They took out a train. They doing all this stuff, and we see his son. He's training his sons to fight. Right. Then skip forward with the general. We figure out the general's an Avatar, and they have a whole Avatar team, and he's there to get revenge. Justifiably so. He's a bad guy, whatever. But he did kill him. So I don't feel bad that he's like, yo, I'm coming back.
And not just killed him, like he betrayed his unit. Like,
So
yeah,
Jake Sully's a scumbag.
Yeah.
So Jake Sully.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Avatar 1, Jake Sully's a scumbag. Avatar
You
2,
fell in
Jake
love,
Sully
Chris. Step
doubles
hard.
down on the scumbagness because
No.
they catch the kids. They're about to kidnap the kids.
It's basically Pocahontas is the
Right,
first
but wait. They kidnap the kids.
Ferngully.
The sons call Jake Sully in. They come in. They get the kids free. But who gets captured? Spider. Now you've grown up with Spider. You've raised Spider since he was a baby. Spider bounces, and you're like, you know what? Good riddance. No, I'm not gonna make a zero attempt to save this kid at all. The kid that's raised with my children. The kids that my kids call.
They were trying to get rid of the kids from day one.
Spider was their pet.
Yeah, that's why they called
Spider
him
was like
Spider.
Roger from freaking T and Tamara show.
Yes,
Like,
I'm not saving Roger.
Like, Roger,
go home, Roger.
Get out of here,
man.
Right.
I saw his kids have a bond with Spider. I didn't see like the adults have a true relationship with Spider.
Anyone other than his outcast kids.
Yeah.
Spider's in the base. Spider's with the scientists. Spider's there. Spider's their family. Okay, you're telling me you live if you see your neighbor in trouble, you don't even know your neighbor that well.
Chris,
you're trying to help your neighbor.
There's a bigger problem though, Chris. At the end of Avatar 1, our hero protagonist came to this profound understanding that family was every living thing on that planet was family. Not just he didn't have a family with the one avatar at that point, but the whole unit was family. That was his family.
Yep.
And halfway through this movie, or a third through the movie, he balks on the thing that he learned and took him a whole movie the first time.
Of course he did. Wait, no. Of course he did, because you are like, we're all family until you have some kids. And you're like, you know what? You ain't my family. You ain't my family. But I'm going to save my children. Okay. The game changes when you got these kids.
So reason 2 why Jake Sully is a scumbag. Jake Sully is not just he's not just the avatar. He's the leader of the tribe. He's the
president. He bounces.
He's
get that James Cameron want to go shoot a movie in water, and I support that.
I need a
y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping.
He's just like,
first of all,
these train killers are coming.
Jake knew that they were after him.
Right.
They were after him. They didn't. It wasn't a war
either. They were after. But the lady said, I want to colonize the place. I want to wipe them all out and get rid of them. And when they touch down, they show you what they're trying to do. They ain't trying to make peace with the indigenous. They're trying to wipe them out.
But then we get the moment where Jake realizes they're after him. That dude is after him.
But they weren't either. It was one guy was after him. The lady was still doing what she was doing with unobtainium and trying to wipe out the forest people. And the ocean guy was doing what he was doing. And Jake was like, they're after me. But they weren't after him. The one person had a vendetta.
Well, and here's the thing. He has 2 sons and 2 daughters. He is like
the whole village is his family.
No,
and that's what he learned.
That's cute. That's cute before you have some kids.
But I'm sorry, but pause, Lawrence. How did this movie ended with him doing the same thing he did at the end of Avatar 1, where he goes, "The water people are my people."
Yeah, until they come, and he's like, "I'm getting my kids out of here."
Yeah.
Listen, look, real talk. When you have a 5-year-old daughter that's like, "Daddy," you're a fool to stay and fight. You don't stay and fight when you got a 7-year-old going. You get your family out of Dodge, especially if you got a guy coming after you. Now, I'm not saying he made the most heroic decision, but it was human as hell. Human than a mug.
But it was also selfish as hell, because he put the other people in danger and left the people he was responsible in danger.
No,
So
he didn't just leave them though. He left them with a new leader. He left them with the best leader that he saw was possible. That was there.
They're gonna come looking for me here. So when they come looking for you, you're the one in charge now.
Right.
No, but they weren't looking for them. They were specific. He figured out that they were looking specifically for him.
That's the point.
The whole army wasn't looking for him. They were just trying to get them out of the way so they can do what they got to do. Wait. But they were up in the holy mountains where they couldn't get them. So therefore, they were pretty much safe. The only unit that was able to get them was the colonel.
Wait,
and he was specifically out there trying to get Jake Sully.
Edie Falco's. I'm sorry though. yes, but also no. Edie Falco's character needed them taken care of. She didn't care who was in charge. She wanted them dealt with. The villain from the first movie, who's come back to be the villain in the second movie, has a personal vendetta, so he has specifically targeted Sully. But Edie Falco's character still wants all of the forest people taken care of.
Right.
So just because the villain from the first movie is now going to the water doesn't mean Edie
Okay.
Falco's people aren't still going
But
for the forest.
either way,
Agreed.
you got a guy here who's out here to mutilate and to kill your children. Not in just war. He's out here to actually just pick them apart so he can hurt you. That's yeah, I understand there's a bigger threat attacking the people. You're in charge here because there's actually an assassin that's targeting my family.
I
Yeah.
get
We
it.
have to
but
get out
the-
of Dodge.
But the resolve was we got to face this guy, which ends up being probably
The
what they
be-
should have just done in the first
No,
place.
it was even better
What they
because
do in the
those people weren't ready to fight on the water, just like Wakanda Forever. They fought them in a terrain. That's why they beat them at the end. They weren't ready to fight them
No,
on
they
water.
only beat. I'm sorry, they only beat them at the end because a rogue fish decided to go against fish code and actually be
Yes.
aggressive.
Yes, and that would have never happened in the forest. So yes,
But it
on
wasn't
water
supposed to happen in the water either, because
doesn't
those
matter.
particular fish, who are smarter than any other creature on the planet, had come to the realization that violence only breeds violence, so we'll never be violent again, except for the one rogue fish.
No,
which was
that
Fluke.
last fight at the end was more than just that whale, and the fact that they were on water and we would attack them on water, it leveled that fight. It equalized
The
that
whale
fight.
moment turned what would have otherwise been a martyrdom situation into a battle.
With on land, they would have been wiped out in 2 seconds.
But they weren't wiped out the first time.
They had 15 years to figure out how to fight these people on land.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. That first battle took place in a few months. If anything, they actually had more prep time this time. So why
Yeah,
Sully
prep
ran
time.
away and took his greatest resource, his military tactic, with him? I'll never understand that choice.
Well, I do because he has children. That's
Okay.
why. And it's all funny. Everyone's a soldier until you got these kids. Now you have a we're all family. We'll all fight and die for this until you have a little girl going daddy, and it's like you're not supposed to die for this. It's selfish, human. It's human. It's the most human thing the character can do.
I guess here was the thing. Watching a movie where you know what's going to play out eventually, it didn't make sense that the guy wasn't going to find him in water, which was actually just a less formidable habitat for him to defend himself in because he was used to the other habitat.
Well,
It
Jake
didn't
didn't know that.
logically make sense because
Jake doesn't know the movie.
okay, but
He didn't
good
read the script.
good storytelling also has to give the audience plausible deniability. And when the audience is ahead of the wave, trying to make sense of
But that is
illogical,
plausible. This is a big freaking planet. Like I know he's gonna find Jake because that's where the story needs to go. But I understand why Jake, like, yeah, you looking for me in New York and I bounce to Australia. Lawrence doesn't think you'll find me in Australia. Like, that's plausible enough.
all right, I give it a pass.
For all I know, he went across the planet.
Yeah,
Man,
I
I
guess.
mean, you guys are, I don't know. I'm kind of with Rich on this. It works for me. It works for me. And yes, what Jake did, Jake chose his children and his immediate family over the tribe. Does that make him a jerk? Maybe. I'm like, that's still mad human.
That makes him a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
That's human. I don't think that's human.
Well, listen, I gotta give Chris's clarity of how he feels is
Chris would grab his wife and Sebastian real quick. He is
yeah,
not
but
staying in Texas to fight this fight.
Yeah, but I also know that if this guy is a freaking military strategist, that they're gonna keep coming, and I have to be on the offense. If I'm already, and at this time, I'm already fighting. It's not like there was no fighting. I'm actively fighting with my kids. Sebastian's actively fighting in battle with me. So it's very, very
No,
different.
Sebastian's not your 15-year-old. Sebastian's that 10-year-old little girl that is not fighting. It can't fight. Don't age him up to justify what you would do. Don't do that.
Yeah, but you have your kids. You do have your kids fighting. It's not like he's like, don't fight, don't be part of this.
Yes.
Your kids are in the mix.
Two of the sons
he
fight.
was essentially the king of the village. and
That-
ran.
You
And
think T'Challa would have done that?
technically, they weren't fighting. He had
Right.
them as spotters. Like he
No,
didn't have
that's
them
a
in
good
the
You're
action.
point,
still in
though.
battle though. If
Let's-
you're a
He
scout,
didn't
you're
want
still
them to fight.
look. If you're a scout in Afghanistan, you're still a veteran.
Yeah, but
You're still
Heavy
a
weighs the
wartime
crown,
veteran.
and the guy was wearing the crown until
Yeah,
it was
he took it
But
inconvenient,
off
and then he bought.
that's not how their people work. They don't. They're not. They don't. He's
Well, I
not
don't
a
know how their
king.
people work. I guess.
The people work where I'm the head of the tribe. You're the
No,
second. You
wait,
take
hang on though.
over, and it's
Wait,
not mutiny.
Wait, hang on though. Pause though. They tell us how it works for them, and they say they switch over the crown when the leader dies, and because Sully was very much not dead, they symbolically cut his chest to give him an out. But he took a coward's way. He did not take their way. Their way, the leader wears the crown until they die, and then they pass on the responsibility. Sully ran, and they were like, okay, I guess
But
it's
the
cool.
alternative, if he was to die, would be in battle, which more than likely would have killed the entire tribe, or at least a
Or-
vast majority of them.
But all we
Here's the
know is
part.
that we don't know that they're not still in battle. We just know that Sully left.
Right.
For all intents and purposes, Edie Falco's character is still trying to get rid of them.
Right, but yes, I give you that. But also, the most intense unit that was actively coming for them and had the best chance to get them was
Yes.
only after Sully. So
Yes, I'll give
I
you
think
that.
that he made the best decision out of that because he was like, these
Absolutely.
guys are coming after me. If I'm out of the picture, they're gonna spend their time looking for me and not mess with the tribe.
Okay.
So yeah,
I mean,
they
that was
might
the
be
logic.
in skirmishes with
They were
the
freaking
general.
avatars. They were like their biggest weapon to fight
Yeah.
these people, and now they're not fighting them because they're looking for Sully. That wasn't a coward's way. If anything, he treated himself and his family like bait as well when he ran. He made their big gun leave the battlefield.
Because the main thing was when the regular army went in there to get the Navi is the fact that they were humans and nature reacted against them
Right.
and went after them, whereas the Navi or the Avatar unit went in there, nature was kind of just like, okay, yeah, we see them, we ain't
The
messing
Navis
with
can take care of the humans.
Yeah.
It's the freaking it's the Avatar dudes that's like, yo, you can disrupt this whole thing. Now you and Chris are wrong. We can keep.
I got
well
another
done,
one.
Rich.
I
Well
got another
done.
question, and I'm jumping to the end of the film.
Okay.
Okay.
The very end of the movie, where the water people decide to actually go into battle. The big whale creature jumps on the barge. It's fin flipping people off the boat, causing destruction, dodging missiles, and we got a full out war going on.
Right.
At the height of the battle, all of the water people
Yes, okay.
disappear.
I have an issue with that too. Yes,
And
yes,
they're
yes.
just like, yo, man, where did they
Are
go
we
for the
supposed to?
last?
Are we
They're
supposed to
gone for the
assume?
last 40 minutes of the movie. No, they just
They
disappeared.
were not there. They were not
just
around
gone.
anymore.
They're just
But
not
wait, like,
shot. any shots.
what's the plausible deniability? Like,
There was none because
are they
his
fighting
daughter
off
was
to the
still there.
side?
Nah, man.
There was it didn't seem like there was another fight outside of that
They
ship.
were like, "Yo, this
was
gotta
it.
get real."
Like they're like,
I'll see
listen,
you guys
we
later.
ran out of
Yeah.
money for CGI,
Yeah.
so
We can't have all these characters running
we
around.
are
They
done.
either ran out of money for CGI, which I don't believe that's $1 billion project, or they ran out of paper to fill in the story and give them a reason to be there. It's almost like what happened when Captain Marvel rolls up and Thanos is there. We don't know how to utilize everybody, so we're just going to pretend hope that nobody notices that they're gone.
They could just
And
they could have them fight more people on the side. Like they're caught up in that could have been.
no, dude, they just stopped showing them.
Yeah,
They don't explain
there
at all what
there
happened.
wasn't. I can't be with you on this one. There wasn't that many people on that boat. All right?
It's
Right?
true because they were all on the flying fish things when they were
Right.
like the gangster pregnant wife was like, "Let's go,"
Yeah.
and then
And you have the veteran swimmers. This is like SEAL Team 6 in the water with you, and then you got people that need help getting out of the water, and there's no one to be
Maybe
found.
it was like, we just here to help the fight. We see we won the fight. You got to get your
But
family out
that
on your
guy's
own.
daughter, that king, the Sea King's daughter, was
He's still there.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, where did he go? He only
Yeah.
came for one reason: his kids.
Yeah,
They
And
showed
now
up at the end,
he's
though.
gone.
Jack, you're right about this.
Okay, all right, I'll take that one. I'll give you the Sully one, but I'll take that one. Didn't make any
No.
sense to me.
I will tell you, I was so caught up in it, I didn't think about it.
Well, when you go back and watch it, you're gonna notice it.
Now I can't not see it. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I wonder if that'll come out in commentary. If James Cameron will tell us.
Well, it just did. Our commentary.
Yes. So James, tell us, where did the water people go? The fight's on the water. We need their help. He left his daughter. What's going on? So an hour of this movie, there's not much plot or story going on, like the beefy middle. But for me, I loved it because it felt like an open world game where you're like, you know what? I'm not going to play any missions. I'm just going to ride my horse in Red Dead.
Well, you're kind of
Cruise
leveling
around.
up. It's like you're just slaughtering the little monsters on the road over and over again.
And can we just talk about the way the water freaking looked? How,
Yeah.
oh my God, dude. It was like we were in the ocean and felt, and not just the look of it, but like I felt them hold their breath. I felt them learn how to last longer. I felt when he almost drowned and came up, like I felt all the feels as if I was watching humans in there.
Well, because
Well,
there was.
they were wearing the suits.
My only problem with the water was when they were drowning and then they brought them back up, they weren't spitting water up. Like
That was
you were,
weird.
you were actually sucking water into your lungs. You should.
But
be
who
spitting
knows
water
how
out.
their lungs work?
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but you notice that none of them spat water, and a couple of them were at that point. At 3 of them, the kid was at one point, the dad was at another point, and
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
main
saying.
character was one.
That's my only. That's really my
None of
only
them.
gripe with
Because
the water.
you never see them like, or they keep their mouths closed and they just start doing the
convulsion.
thing.
That's
Yeah, I didn't
interesting.
understand either, and no one was giving
Some
mouth to mouth like that.
Some of them had their mouth open, bruv.
Oh, they did give mouth to mouth. The sun.
And
Yeah,
I
the
have to
sun.
assume their lungs would be bigger than ours. So that's a whole lot of water that should be
Pushed
gushing out, pushed
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, because I like that the fact that the water tribe they're equipped and evolved to live in the water, like you
Differently,
can see
yeah.
it in their
They were
body.
cool that they were
So
different.
cool.
But I didn't
I
need
love
them
that.
doing like the Samoan stuff. I thought that was weird.
The what's
The
Like I
tongue
didn't need
thing.
them doing like Hawaiian ritualistic, not
Forgot the name
ritualistic,
of it.
but
but didn't
traditional.
but didn't like in the first movie, like they were kind of like indigenous. Like they kind of
Yes,
they
well, that's
sprinkle
what they
culture.
still are.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, but
sprinkle
this
like the
felt
real.
so specific.
Hmm.
It's like so it's the dance movement that The Rock or Jason Momoa has done, and we've seen him do it. It's so traditional
But
to
it
that
took like
culture
a
that
snippet of it. Like
They
that's
have the
why it
tattoos
didn't.
too. Down to the whales, then they have the same tattoos also.
Yeah, it
But
felt.
I think the lead guy who played like their king
Oh, he
he's from
plays.
New
No, he's
Zealand, but he is right. He is. I don't know if he's Hawaiian, but
that
he is.
guy has played every race there under the sun in every movie. That guy has specifically played just about every race of person you can think of.
what was it? Cliff Curtis? Was that him?
Yeah, Cliff Curtis.
I mean, he's played so many different
But what?
kinds of people.
Yeah, my cast is all over the place. This ain't Michelle Rodriguez is in it. Vin Diesel, like were they? No, they were.
Wait, what?
Michelle Rodriguez
That's
was
the
in.
other movie about family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they said they got a whole mix of people. Alonzo, excuse me.
Alonzo, he probably had a smaller part because he was the dude in part one that hated Jake.
I
right.
think okay. I think they're mixing like part 1 and part 2 together.
But he might have been in the beginning. Maybe he might have
Because
had
he
a
was
small
the
part.
first.
Maybe.
He was the first
Okay.
person. Right.
So no. So I love that. I love the look of the water people. I think we just said it, how their hands are different. Like it's cool. It just makes me think. And we kind of made a joke about it, like Avatar 3, the mountain people. But I am curious to see like what do they look like in different terrain. Is there a part on this planet where it's snowing, where it's cold? Like it'd be really
And
cool.
they might have fur.
It'd be interesting.
Or
Yeah.
maybe they might be a little bit bigger, like maybe they hold more like body fat just to insulate
Because
themselves.
because it's cold
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Made
what
me
Depends
that,
really
on the
want to see
world.
the world.
absolutely. I agree with that because Avatar 1 felt like we had seen the whole world and this is what's on the world. But
Right.
Avatar 2 felt like, no, Avatar 1 actually only just scratched this really small surface of it.
Yeah.
Which also makes it really, which actually also just pokes more glaring light at the fact that what's going on with the whole point of the movie is about robbing a planet of very specific resources, which
Mhm.
we do. We've done. We've gone to the Congo and we've taken rubber. We're stealing the mineral that we need to make computer chips now. It's like this is sadly a story that's been told over and over again, and it happens all the time. And it's very specific, right? So it's like, what's my point?
But I think the forest is like the Congo. Like there's probably only so many places on this planet where the resources are
That's
rich.
But
Well,
that's my point. And
Or
so
we
the
just
fact
haven't
that
seen it yet. You know,
Yeah.
happens
They
off
haven't
screen.
discovered it yet.
We haven't discovered it yet.
yeah,
Well,
but
before
what's the
yeah,
next thing?
I
So
was thinking that maybe that I'm sorry, maybe that underwater tree of souls, maybe that's
Mhm.
also sitting on the minerals, but they just haven't tapped into it yet.
Right, because they're too
Mhm.
busy going after the fountain of youth that's found in whale brains.
Yep.
Or maybe they're just getting the one that's more accessible, which is on land. Because I would imagine that's a whole
Right.
nother way of mining
Well, then
something
why
than to
would you
do it
call that
underwater.
unatanium? You'd call that more atanium than the other
There we
unatanium.
go.
Okay.
There we
Yo,
go.
you know what I like though?
What?
I don't know if Chris noticed it when they were making the ships. It was almost like a dope, like a futuristic 3D printing.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was dope. Oh, sorry, that was dope.
Yeah, yeah.
I missed it. Sorry, I missed the three. I saw this movie at like 9:45 at night after I've been up since 5 a.m. I am surprised. I stayed awake, but I did. I missed a couple things. I think I missed that. Um, Mine. I only have one. This movie's not perfect, but it's almost perfect for me. I'll tell you. My main gripe about it is Zoe Saldana. I did not get enough of her. I felt like her character was so forced in the background after we spent so much time with her and Jake, and now she's a mother and these children, and you're trusting your husband, and things aren't going right. And I'm like, she just fell to the background until the end,
She
almost,
was
Yeah,
and
way
that
more
but
felt
gangster
I
than
didn't like
Jake.
that.
yo,
Way more virtuous than Jake.
her
Beast.
performance through the CGI. I
How do
mean,
you do that through CGI?
Yeah.
When she lost her son, like you felt that she was screaming, you
Oh
felt
yeah.
that.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
yeah, but
god!
even and that's what I'm saying. Like when the Sky People came back and the emotion that was radiating through her performance was like, man, did they just kill everybody? And you saw ships dropping all over the globe.
No,
Just
I'm sure people died. I'm sure people
yeah,
died.
some people died, but but no one from their family died, which
Right,
means no one from their village got hit.
right.
You know, it's just the
Mm,
world was bleeding in that moment.
I'm not gonna say. I wouldn't say that their village didn't get hit. I would say
But
they got hit, but conveniently for reasons
no, but
for the plot.
hold up,
Oh,
Rich.
actually, no. This is the best way you can describe it. We use in anime all the time. Plot armor.
Okay,
That's why the
Right.
family
but
survived.
let me please in detail explain that for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. These ships landed and they basically rizzed, just mass destruction, destroyed every single living thing, plant, animal, everything for city blocks, miles and miles and miles. And the only reason why Jake and his wife didn't get hit is because they went on a couple's date. They went and had a little date night for themselves. And so they were way far in the distance and they saw, and they're looking to where I believe their village is getting just gone. Except for there's no way that their village was in the path of that because there would have been nothing at all left. And they show us that, but no one from their family was hit, and no one that we'd seen in the previous scene was hit. So it didn't actually hit it couldn't have hit their village. There's
Well,
no way it hit their village.
they may not have gotten hit by the initial blast, but their village more than likely burned down because it doesn't. You're not. No one's putting the fires out, so the fires are going to spread.
But if it burned, that's what I'm saying. If it, yeah, maybe they moved up to higher ground. They got away from it, that's for sure. But anyone who was in the blast radius there was nothing left.
Right. Yeah,
So
but
there's no way that.
I'm saying that maybe the village wasn't in the initial blast area, but they just couldn't escape the fire regardless. Even after the blast, the forest is still burning, so that fire is still spreading, and their village just so happened to be within that fire.
I was surprised though when I saw their entire family was fine. I was like, oh, I thought that her emotion to seeing what had happened felt more than just seeing.
She might have that emotion.
Well, she's one of the planet.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and fear. But when her son died,
oh my goodness,
man, you felt that.
I was man, this was so sad.
So I had kids sitting behind me, a family sitting behind me, and when the whale died, and when the son died, the kids were crying so much that dad had to take the kids out of the theater.
Dude, it hits, and I hate seeing like main characters die because we're supposed to, but it was so brilliant because in that moment you're like, no one's safe. No one's safe. This is an IP where we know all these people have to come back in part 3. Like, and although they all survived, I did not know. Like, Jake could die. He probably won't, but
I thought
could.
Jake was going to die. I actually thought Jake was actually going to die, and his son was going to. I thought it was going to go that way.
The danger, you're sick and twisted, Chris, and we're going to deal with that later. But yeah, I just she felt like she wasn't in the movie until the end. The beginning and the end.
Phenomenal.
I mean, when she was in the movie, though, you felt it. Like when Jake told the plan of leaving and handing over the leadership.
Oh yeah.
She was, every time she was in there, like you felt her in there.
She's in there, but.
Yeah.
And I guess Jake and they both took a backseat a bit. It was we followed their children, the sons, specifically, and I really, because they're the next generation. For all I know, Jake is not going to be the focus at all in the next one. To the degree he's been,
the daughter, and James Cameron. If you look at his filmology, this guy loves strong, heroic female leads, and so for that daughter character who seems to somehow be tethered to the planet in a way no one else is, I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being the front runner at the end of the
she
story.
has to be. They're setting her up to be more than just a regular avatar, right?
And if we look at Terminator 2, James Cameron loves to take characters you thought were the hero or the villain and like completely do a turnaround. So yes, we might be following brother and sister in the next one more than anybody else.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because there's already seeds of redemption put into the villain and into the avatar version of this villain. I know, but look at it. He balked when the knife was put to his kid, who wasn't his kid, but is his kid.
And when the kid saved him, he's like, "Come with me, son."
But that made no sense.
No,
also.
Spider needs to get got real quick on site. On site.
He's like, wait a minute, you did what? He was dying and you did
you're
what?
A culture vulture. And he was leading his avatar dad. He was kind of helping him to a certain degree. And he's like, no, stop. What do you think he came here to do?
I'm blaming that on Stockholm Syndrome.
I don't care what you blaming on, Chris.
No, that character was the hardest thing about the movie for me.
Yeah, he didn't really need to exist.
Or we needed to spend more time with him, where it was like
we needed less time with him. What are you talking about?
They had to love him so much that I would buy that he would be enough in their world to mess it up.
Sure, or
he's like that little chihuahua you found today. I'm like, why are you letting that dog mess your life up?
But let the lady's torture device be the thing that outs him. And so now he's in a situation where maybe his best way forward is to embed himself in the enemy thing, you know? But instead, he resisted the torture device, which is able to map your brain memory, which clearly worked because the guy's memory transferred to the avatar after he died, so that you can literally map the memories of the human brain. But this kid was uncrackable.
Yeah.
What? That make no sense.
Dreadlocks.
It was the locks.
Power was in my
The
locks.
appropriation of saving him.
Oh my gosh, Spider. And then
All right.
when he saves him at the end.
Yeah. Well, he saved him because the dad saved him. That makes sense. That actually made more sense than anything.
It made sense. But it's like I wanted a scene where he says, "Jake, he's alive." Like is he gonna?
Something.
Because now they're gonna be blindsided by this freaking dude as he freaking regroups.
Yep.
He knows where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Spider's
instead,
a jerk.
and instead the father scumbag said, "Well, a son for a son." We're like, that ain't gonna play out well for you. We know that.
No, he's not. He doesn't know. Spider's the scumbag here, guys.
He is in this moment.
It could be more than
but
one
he's also
scumbag.
human.
Spider's been the scumbag.
Hey, don't get it twisted. Of course he's the scumbag. He's the sky person.
So is Jake.
And who does the sky person represent? Bunch of scumbags.
True. So wonderful performance. That last battle was sick. Danger. Something about being in the water. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
I wanted more. See, that way I forget it. We can keep moving. It's like the air does something to humans. I'm like, y'all can just be swimming in this water and it's fine. Like it's not. I feel like it'd be cool if it was after a while. It's almost acidic to you. Like the elements are not your friend on this planet. You can't just start swimming in this.
I thought about that too, because you can't breathe the air for more than 2 breaths, but you can bathe in the water.
Now I can see Spider might be having an advantage, like somebody who's lived here for a long time, so his body built up some kind of tolerance. He can't breathe the air.
Nope. Can't breathe the air. But I mean, also, how did this guy? This guy was just they made it such a point in the first movie, and they hint at it in this movie, that there's only a finite amount of oxygen in those tanks you're running around with, so you got to get back and refuel. But this guy never, like he got.
I was thinking that like that air is never gonna.
And you tell me that machine's running that machine nonstop every day and it doesn't break down,
right?
I don't think we needed. I can't say we didn't need Spider in this movie because for all I know, part 3, like we don't know where it's gonna go, the seeds that are being planted. But I will say, Spider, you're a scumbag. That's the scumbag of this movie. Chris is Spider, okay? The dog, the pet.
Well, there's a few scumbags in this movie, and the villain of the scumbag endorsing the slaughtering of that well and then putting it on display just to taunt the guy is a pretty scumbag move. I mean, that's
but he's supposed to be the bad guy. It's fine for him to be a scumbag. We're supposed to be the bad guy.
Yes, I agree. That's an appropriate scumbag. And man, I felt it. I'm like, you are a scumbag.
And Spider showed up at the end like, what's going on, brother? Don't call him brother.
That's a different kind of scumbag. Oh, they use the word bro way too much in this film. And where did they get it from?
Got it from the father.
I guess, but man, I was broed out by the bro man dudish.
Bro, don't worry about it, bro.
Language
no, bro. That's how we talk, bro. No, that's how we talk, bro. What you talking about, bro?
You're right, bro.
I've adapted, bro.
What's up, bro?
What up, bro? What's going on, bro?
The performances of the sons I thought were great, man. Especially the jerk that just won't do what he's told. That's gonna get his whole family killed because he just wants to do his own thing.
Classic middle child syndrome.
Classic middle child. He's like, I can't be as good as you. No, you can't, because you're just not as talented. You're not as smart. You're not as fast. You're not as strong. But it's okay. You have charm.
You got charm.
You have charm. You have wit. I mean, we're kind of just rolling around here. We pretty much went through the big points of the movie, but
so let's
rate this thing, man.
The movie's long-winded enough. We don't need to be.
Yeah.
Well, if we haven't been already.
Right. Sorry.
What do you
We'll try to
guys
cut
think?
this down before we give it to you.
I'm not. This is going as is on YouTube. What do you guys think?
Visually stunning, predictable story. I give it
I
a 7.
swear. Okay.
He said a 7.
Okay. No. I gotta, Chris. I told you I was gonna do this.
Wow.
He said visually stunning, predictable story. I
Right,
give it a 7.
right.
Visually stunning, predictable story. I give Black Adam an 8.
Well, I had more fun in Black Adam. I had more fun in Black Adam. Look, I didn't need in 2 hours of
There's
coming of
But
age.
the storytelling
Ranking
value
up.
isn't. I'm sorry. Yes, predictable, and I had some gripes, but the storytelling value of this still tells a coherent story,
Right.
and it's not. It's certainly not worse than most of the stuff that you see. You know,
Yeah.
it holds its own as that. It's not changing the game. Storytelling wise, I'm sorry, it's not changing the game. Visually wise, it is changing the game. It's actually pushing the game forward.
Yeah,
I'd say
but
visually, this thing is a 10.
absolutely
Visually
agree.
10. There's nothing looks better than this. There's nothing has ever looked better than this film
but
looks.
storytelling is not under Black Adam.
I
No.
didn't enjoy it as much as
But
Black.
this guy's
I
favorite
honestly,
film is
I,
Venom.
I didn't really like the first one that much either. So
What?
He
Wow.
does
yeah,
the
I really
same,
didn't like it.
but you could say the
Wow.
same thing about the first one. Visually
Yeah, I didn't
stunning,
really like it. I liked
storytelling.
it. It was cool, but I didn't love it the same way everyone else loves it. I just thought it was all right.
Man,
I give it a
I
7.
mean,
Avatar storytelling values to me is it's really good. It's like really good like Disney. You know where it's going. You know the story. It doesn't really matter. The ride is dope. I know where the end is. I know Batman's gonna win at the end of this movie. I don't care. I'm here for the ride, and the ride, baby, the ride. I'm watching a movie and these CGI creatures is about to make me cry because she lost her son. You win. That's a story. That's story. That's not just because it looked beautiful. That's story. You win. Spider out here looking like a freaking doofus getting me mad. You made me mad. You made me feel. That's
Big old
story.
doofus.
That's
nah.
story.
See, Spider being in this movie loses half a point for me. Easy.
Fine.
It was a long movie, and I would have to go back and see, like, to really look at it multiple times to see like certain things that needed to be cut. But overall, I think the storytelling was pretty solid, and everything just kind of flowed with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right off the bat, Spider needed to have been cut. Like, I didn't need him at all.
Well, we might need him in part 3. It's hard to say until we
That's
see
true.
the rest of it. That's the
Hard.
that's the thing.
Like, I would have liked it a little bit better if they broke him and then he started
Like
working.
a little just a little
Yeah.
pressure
Yeah.
before he cracked and sang like a canary.
Something.
But yeah. Other than that, I mean, would you say 7, Chris? It's
7.
horrible. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a solid 9.5.
Rich.
Wow.
And I'm giving it a 9.5. I'm taking 0.5 off because of Spider.
You might add it back in. When you see part 3, you might be like, oh, he had to be there. So X,
They better tie it in. They better make it,
Well,
tie that bow.
yeah. I will say, with an unlikable character, they still made it make sense for me why he didn't kill like that Avatar, the Colonel letting Homeboy go so they didn't kill his son should have been like rolling my eyes moment. It should have
Oh,
been
but it
like on paper, it should have been, but it wasn't because they had enough wonderful story to support that choice. Even though I'm like, that's ridiculous. But it's like,
and what a great moment for Zoe's character in that moment. She would have done it.
oh yeah,
Which also was questionable.
Because
Which
he's
also
the
was
dog.
questionable. That's right? He was the family pet at best, which
He's
is why.
the pet. And the kids
like,
play with him like the dog.
Hmm?
The dog. But let me
But
tell
the
you something.
father used to be that dog, which is really weird dynamic. Actually, it doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't make sense that the kid would have wanted to gone back without the mom at least apologizing for putting a knife to him.
She's never going to apologize for that.
So why he
Don't even
saved
ask
his
for it.
dad? I understand why he saved his dad. I didn't understand why he went back to the family, put a knife to him.
I think
you're gonna pull the dad out of the water. Maybe you tether yourself to that choice.
I actually thought
instead.
he was gonna stay with his father.
Yeah, it was really weird when
Yeah.
at the end, you trade one son for another was
No,
a son for a son made no
I
sense to me.
I think he couldn't stay with his father because he's not about to go back to the base and bomb the rest of these people. Like his father would go back to his mission, and that's what I think Spider wouldn't do. He wouldn't go back to the mission. If his father was like, "I'm done," he might have
But
stayed.
how
with
does
him.
Spider go back there knowing his place? So what do you give the movie, Lawrence?
Man, this is a 9 for me, man.
Yeah.
It did what movies do. It did what movies are supposed to do, and then some. 9. If you tell me all I can watch is Spider-Man: No Way Home and Avatar: Way of Water for the rest of my life, that's the only 2 movies I got. I'm like, that's not bad. I'm that's not bad. I'm sorry, Chris. Venom's not.
I would have put Venom there, but damn, this is not the movie I'd pick if I had 2 movies to watch the rest of my life.
Dude, this movie put me in a different world, man.
Yeah,
it's a different planet.
Here's what's hard for me. I want to also give this movie a 9, but the Spider character cost the movie half a point. So I would give it a solid though 8.5, and I'm very excited for Avatar 3. And I like this film. I like the film, but I liked Avatar 1. Some people didn't like Avatar 1 so much, and
I loved it.
Yeah,
I did too. And really, I mean, it's easy to saying the movie is visually stunning doesn't take away from the fact that it's also just a good, fun film, you know? But I feel like so many people say the movie is visually stunning as an asterisk. Like, the movie's not very good, but it's visually stunning. And I wouldn't say that. I would say the movie is visually stunning, and it's good. It's better than 95% of the crap I've seen this year without even trying.
I won't even see crap. It's just better than 95% of what I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Even the good stuff. I mean, it's still...
The acting is great, with the exception of some of the stuff in it. And James Cameron is at the top of his food chain. I think James Cameron is hands down, arguably one of the single best film directors of all time. Dude. And this is him doing his brainchild, and he's crushing it.
Killing it, man. Killing it.
And the fact that Cameron doesn't rush a project. You know, he did not rush into Avatar 2. He took his time to think about it. And when
he didn't rush into Avatar 1. He couldn't even make that until technology caught up to his...
Yes, exactly. And that's my point. And when he was ready to make Avatar 2, he goes, you know what? I'm actually ready to make Avatar 2, 3, and 4. So there's no point in waiting. Let's just do them all. And that's what they're doing.
It's like, Fox, Disney bought you, right? Got the money. Let's make this do it. They got that mouse money.
I endorse it. So with a 9.5, 7, Chris, really?
Oh, Chris.
And 8.5.
What did you give Samaritan?
10.
The 6?
10.
4?
Like that.
He said almost as good as Venom. So collectively, we have given Avatar 2, The Way of Water, 9.5, an 8.5.
That's respectable. That's a respectable score, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the 7's hitting me, but you know, Chris, I love your rating system because it's not about comparing a movie to this. How did you feel in this theater on this day at this time? And I can't knock you for that. I can't knock you for that. Let us know in the comments section what you guys thought of this movie. We would love to know. We also hit the playlist up. We got other reviews. We got toys. We got comic books. We got it all there. We also have a podcast. You can listen to us talk about other geeky stuff. And we're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on everywhere. We're everywhere you'd want to be. Also, hit that notification bell. Subscribe. Like this video. And we'll see you next time. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.
Thank God you're back, Chris. These guys dropped the ball last week.
Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to 3 Brothers and a Shot of Milk.